History class lied to you. Okay, not with fake facts, but by skipping all the good stuff. What you're about to hear sounds completely made up, and every single bit of it is real. Stick around for the last one, because historians still can't explain it. Let's start with the queen everyone thinks they know. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the moon landing than to the building of the Great Pyramid. When she ruled Egypt, the pyramids were already ancient ruins, older to her than she is to us. And while we're bending time, Oxford University is older than the Aztec Empire. Students were complaining about exams in England more than 2 centuries before the Aztecs even founded their capital city. Here's one that feels wrong. Woolly mammoths were still walking the earth while the pyramids were going up. A small herd survived on a remote Arctic island until about 4,000 years ago. Nintendo, the company that made Mario, was founded in 1889. That's while Vincent van Gogh was still alive and painting. They sold playing cards for decades before video games even existed. The fax machine is even older. It was patented in 1843, over 30 years before the telephone. Which means technically, a samurai could have sent a fax. The last samurai were still fighting in 1877. Speaking of wars, the shortest war in history lasted around 38 minutes. In 1896, Zanzibar took on the British Empire, and it was over before breakfast ended. Australia managed to do worse. In 1932, the Australian Army went to war against emus. Actual birds. Armed with machine guns, they still lost. The emus simply refused to be organized into groups and outran everything. Napoleon, one of the greatest military minds ever, was once defeated by rabbits. His staff organized a rabbit hunt, released hundreds of tame bunnies, and instead of running away, the entire horde charged straight at him. The Romans had their own chaos. Emperor Caligula loved his horse so much, he reportedly planned to make it a consul, one of the highest offices in Rome. And ordinary Romans used human urine as mouthwash, because the ammonia actually whitened teeth. They knew. They did it anyway. Ketchup pulled off a similar trick in the 1830s, when it was sold as actual medicine. People genuinely believed tomato pills could cure indigestion. The Eiffel Tower, the symbol of France, was supposed to be temporary. It had a 20-year permit and Parisians hated it. It only survived because it made a great radio antenna. Vikings, by the way, never wore horned helmets. Not once. That whole look was invented for a German opera in the 1870s, and it stuck. In 1919, a giant storage tank in Boston burst and sent a wave of molasses through the streets faster than you could run. It sounds like a cartoon, but it flattened buildings and killed 21 people. Here's a strange time overlap. When Arizona became a U.S. state in 1912, the Ottoman Empire still existed. Same year the Titanic sank, by the way. Anne Frank, Martin Luther King Jr., and Barbara Walters were all born in the same year, 1929. History is way more compressed than it feels. One more overlap that breaks brains. Only 66 years passed between the first airplane flight and the moon landing. One human lifetime, from wooden propellers to walking on another world. President Andrew Jackson had a pet parrot that he taught to swear. At Jackson's funeral, the parrot cursed so loudly and so relentlessly, it had to be removed from the service. And finally, the one nobody can explain. In the summer of 1518, in Strasbourg, a woman stepped into the street and started dancing. She didn't stop. Within a month, hundreds had joined her, dancing day and night, many until they collapsed. Some reportedly danced themselves to death. 500 years later, historians still argue about what actually happened. So the next time history class feels boring, remember, someone chose to leave all of this out. Subscribe for more facts that break your brain, because history isn't done being weird.